Imagine strolling through a bustling market square, where sellers from near and far display their goods beneath colorful canopies. For centuries, this lively scene has been the heart of commerce, merchants and customers coming together, exchanging wares, haggling over prices, and building relationships. The idea of a marketplace is as old as trade itself, rooted in the simple notion of bringing buyers and sellers together in a shared space. Yet, over the past few decades, this ancient tradition has undergone a profound transformation, leaping from crowded plazas into the boundless digital realm. The story of online marketplaces is one of technological ingenuity, shifting consumer habits, and the relentless pursuit of convenience. To understand the evolution of online marketplaces, it helps to look back at their origins in traditional commerce. Physical markets, whether town squares, trading fairs, or even classified ads in newspapers, served as foundational spaces for trade, connecting people who might otherwise never meet. These venues were inherently inclusive, offering access to a wide variety of goods from many different sellers and fostering competition and choice. As technology advanced, it was only natural that the marketplace model would find new life online. The roots of online marketplaces can be traced to the earliest experiments in electronic commerce. In 1969, CompuServe was founded as one of the first major online service providers, laying the groundwork for the digital marketplace era. By the early 1980s, efforts to facilitate transactions over computer networks began to take shape. The Boston Computer Exchange, launched in 1982, is widely recognized as the first online marketplace. Its focus was narrow, connecting buyers and sellers of used computers, but its impact was significant. The platform served as a proof of concept, demonstrating that technology could efficiently match supply and demand beyond the limits of geography. As the internet became more accessible in the 1990s, the marketplace model evolved rapidly. The year 1995 marked a pivotal moment with the founding of both Amazon and eBay. While Amazon began as an online bookstore, it quickly expanded into a broad e-commerce platform. eBay, meanwhile, embodied the pure marketplace model, acting as an intermediary where anyone could auction goods to the highest bidder. These early platforms harnessed the internet's power to connect millions of users, scaling the marketplace concept in ways traditional venues could scarcely imagine. But what exactly sets an online marketplace apart from other e-commerce or retail models? At its core, an online marketplace is a digital platform that enables multiple independent sellers to offer products or services to buyers. The operator of the marketplace typically does not own the goods being sold. Instead, their role is to facilitate transactions, manage the digital infrastructure, and often provide support around payments, logistics, and dispute resolution. This is a crucial distinction from single-seller e-commerce sites, where one company owns and sells all inventory directly to consumers. Several key characteristics define online marketplaces. First, the presence of multiple sellers is fundamental. Unlike a traditional retailer, which sources products and resells them to customers, an online marketplace provides a venue for third parties to list and sell their own goods. This multi-seller structure allows for a broad selection, competitive pricing, and an environment where small businesses or individuals can reach large audiences without the need to manage their own websites or payment systems. Second, the marketplace operator acts as an impartial intermediary. Rather than focusing on inventory management, the operator facilitates connections between buyers and sellers. Their responsibilities may include vetting sellers, processing payments, handling customer service inquiries, and ensuring trust and security within the platform. Well-known examples of marketplace operators include Amazon, through its third-party marketplace, eBay, Alibaba, and Etsy. Each of these platforms serves as a digital meeting ground where a diverse range of sellers can compete for buyers' attention. Third, marketplaces can adopt a variety of business models and serve different types of transactions. Broadly, these models are categorized as business to consumer, consumer to consumer, and hybrid approaches. Amazon and Alibaba, for example, operate primarily as business-to-consumer marketplaces, connecting businesses with end consumers. eBay and Etsy are often cited as consumer-to-consumer platforms, enabling individuals to sell directly to other individuals. Some marketplaces, such as Alibaba's business-to-business platform, are designed to connect businesses with one another, facilitating large-scale procurement and wholesale transactions. Hybrid models have become increasingly common, blurring the lines between these categories as marketplaces evolve to meet diverse needs. The distinction between online marketplaces and other forms of e-commerce is more than academic. It shapes the experience of both buyers and sellers. In a traditional e-commerce setting, such as a branded online store, the seller has full control over inventory, pricing, and the customer journey. The marketplace model, in contrast, decentralizes these elements. Sellers manage their own offerings and compete within the shared environment of the marketplace. For buyers, this means greater variety and the ability to compare prices and options from multiple sources at once. For sellers, the marketplace offers access to a built-in audience, infrastructure, and tools, though it often comes with fees and limits on branding or customization. Operational differences extend to how these platforms handle logistics, payments, and customer service. Marketplaces typically implement unified payment systems, allowing buyers to purchase from multiple sellers in a single transaction. The platform may also offer fulfillment services, as seen with Amazon's fulfillment network, or simply connect buyers and sellers who handle shipping themselves, as is common on eBay. Dispute resolution mechanisms and review systems are often built in to foster trust and transparency, critical components in an environment where buyers and sellers may never meet in person. As technology has advanced, online marketplaces have evolved from simple listing sites to complex digital ecosystems. Early marketplaces often focused on specific product categories or niche communities. Over time, platforms have diversified, supporting a wider array of goods and services and integrating sophisticated features like recommendation engines, dynamic pricing, and mobile applications. Today, the largest marketplaces function as global hubs, connecting millions of buyers and sellers across borders, languages, and currencies. The rise of online marketplaces has also had a profound impact on traditional retail. While brick-and-mortar stores are bound by location and physical inventory, marketplaces are inherently scalable and flexible. They can accommodate rapid shifts in demand, introduce new products quickly, and reach customers far beyond local markets. This has fundamentally altered the landscape of commerce, challenging established retailers to adapt and sometimes blurring the line between online and offline experiences. Some experts argue that rather than replacing physical retail, online marketplaces have become an integral part of a broader, interconnected retail ecosystem. The marketplace model is not without its challenges. Ensuring quality control, preventing fraud, and balancing the needs of buyers and sellers require robust systems and thoughtful governance. Yet, the benefits, choice, convenience, access to global markets have made online marketplaces a dominant force in the last 2 decades. Their ability to empower third-party sellers, harness network effects, and continually innovate has cemented their place at the foundation of digital commerce. As we reflect on the journey from ancient markets to today's sprawling digital platforms, it becomes clear that the foundational principles of marketplaces, connection, competition, and community, remain unchanged, even as the tools and scale have evolved dramatically. The story of online marketplaces is still unfolding, but their role as engines of commerce, innovation, and opportunity seems assured for years to come. Imagine logging on to your favorite online marketplace. Instantly, you are greeted by a dazzling array of products: shoes from a boutique in Milan, handmade ceramics from a local potter, electronics from brands big and small, all seamlessly arranged on a single platform. While this may seem effortless to the casual shopper, the inner workings of online marketplaces are remarkably intricate, shaped by a blend of technology, business strategy, and the careful orchestration of roles among buyers, sellers, and the platform operators themselves. At the heart of every online marketplace is a triad of participants. Buyers arrive seeking choice, convenience, and sometimes the thrill of discovering something new. Sellers, ranging from solo entrepreneurs to established companies, come to reach audiences they might otherwise never find. Then there is the marketplace operator, the entity that weaves these interactions together. Their work is mostly invisible but absolutely foundational. While buyers and sellers focus on their immediate needs, the operator's job is to keep the entire ecosystem running smoothly, ensuring transactions are secure, listings are up to date, and disputes are swiftly resolved. What sets online marketplaces apart from traditional electronic commerce is not just the multiplicity of sellers, but the very structure of how products, data, and fulfillment are managed. In a traditional single-store electronic commerce model, the merchant controls everything from inventory to pricing. In a marketplace, however, the platform operator empowers third-party sellers to manage their own product offerings. This brings both remarkable variety and unique operational challenges. Product assortment expands dramatically, but so does the need for robust systems that can handle everything from onboarding new sellers to managing product data and ensuring compliance with marketplace rules. Order fulfillment can take several forms. Some marketplaces offer their own fulfillment services, picking, packing, and shipping products on behalf of sellers, while in other cases, sellers handle logistics themselves. Meanwhile, The platform remains responsible for the overall experience, tracking orders, facilitating communication, and providing customer support when needed. To manage these complexities, marketplace operators rely on sophisticated seller management processes. Seller management covers everything from the initial vetting of a new merchant to ongoing monitoring of performance. The platform must ensure that sellers comply with policies, present accurate product data, and deliver on their promises to customers. Tools and dashboards are often provided to help sellers update inventory, respond to customer inquiries, and analyze their sales performance. The operator, acting as an impartial intermediary, steps in to mediate disputes and enforce standards, maintaining trust on both sides of the transaction. All of this is supported by a powerful technological infrastructure. Modern marketplaces are built on layers of servers, databases, and application programming interfaces, APIs, that allow different systems to communicate. Cloud hosting has become essential, offering the scalability needed to handle traffic spikes during holiday rushes or major sales events. APIs and integration tools enable seamless connections between the marketplace and third-party applications, such as inventory systems, shipping providers, or payment gateways. Plugins and automation further extend the platform's capabilities, allowing for real-time inventory updates, automated order routing, and dynamic pricing adjustments based on changing demand. Security is a constant concern. Payment systems must be robust, capable of handling transactions across currencies and geographies while protecting sensitive financial data. Marketplaces implement unified payment systems that collect funds from buyers and disburse payments to sellers after deducting any fees. This not only streamlines the buying process, but also helps protect both parties, as funds can be held in escrow until the transaction is satisfactorily completed. The rise of advanced technologies has driven further evolution. Artificial intelligence and machine learning now play an increasing role, powering recommendation engines that surface relevant products to buyers and flagging suspicious activity to prevent fraud. Automation tools assist with everything from inventory tracking to the personalization of product listings. As online marketplaces scale, these technologies become indispensable, ensuring that operations remain efficient and customer experiences stay positive, even as the number of users and transactions grows. The business models supporting online marketplaces are as varied as the goods and services they offer. At a high level, marketplaces can be categorized by the nature of their participants: business to consumer, business to business, or peer-to-peer. Each model brings its own operational nuances. Business-to-consumer platforms emphasize brand assurance and customer service. Business-to-business marketplaces focus on bulk transactions and long-term relationships, while peer-to-peer models prioritize trust and ease of use for individuals trading goods or services directly with one another. Hybrid models, blending aspects of each, are also common, and their operational frameworks must be adaptable and resilient. Revenue generation is another area where marketplaces display remarkable ingenuity. The most common approach is the commission model, where the platform takes a percentage of each transaction. This aligns the marketplace's interests with those of its sellers. When sellers succeed, so does the platform. But commissions are only the beginning. Subscription fees offer another steady revenue stream, granting sellers access to premium features, analytics, or enhanced visibility in exchange for a monthly or annual fee. Some marketplaces charge listing fees, requiring sellers to pay to have their products appear on the site, while others offer premium listing options that boost visibility for an additional charge. Advertising is a powerful monetization lever. Sellers can pay for prominent placement in search results or category pages, driving traffic to their listings. Targeted ads, powered by data and algorithms, allow the platform to match the right products to the right buyers, increasing the likelihood of a successful sale. Transaction fees, separate from commissions, may be levied on certain types of payments or services, providing another layer of income. As competition intensifies, marketplaces are increasingly turning to value-added services. Fulfillment solutions, where the marketplace stores, packs, and ships products for sellers, can command service fees while simplifying logistics for merchants. Embedded financial services, such as lending or payment advances, offer further monetization opportunities while supporting seller growth. Some platforms experiment with dynamic pricing, using artificial intelligence to adjust fees or commissions in real time based on demand, seasonality, or other market factors. A key theme emerging in recent years is the need for revenue diversification. Relying solely on commissions can make a platform vulnerable to shifts in seller behavior or changes in transaction volume. By combining multiple monetization strategies, commissions, subscriptions, ads, value-added services, and dynamic pricing, marketplaces can create a more resilient business capable of weathering changes in the broader economy or competitive landscape. Operators continually experiment with new pricing levers, analyzing how adjustments impact both efficiency and total revenue per transaction. Operational efficiency is closely tied to these monetization strategies. The right blend of fees and services can incentivize seller growth, improve buyer satisfaction, and increase overall marketplace liquidity. At the same time, platforms must be careful not to overburden sellers with excessive costs or complexity, as this can erode trust and drive merchants to competing platforms. The most successful marketplaces strike a delicate balance, aligning their revenue interests with those of their ecosystem. All of these moving parts, the participants, the technology, the business models, and the revenue streams are choreographed to create what feels to the end user like a seamless, intuitive experience. Behind the scenes, however, marketplace operators are constantly refining their platforms, integrating new tools, and responding to seller and buyer needs in real time. The invisible machinery powering every transaction is a marvel of modern commerce, enabling not just the exchange of goods and services, but the ongoing evolution of how we buy, sell, and connect in an increasingly digital world. Imagine waking up in a small town, thousands of miles from any major city, yet with just a few swipes on your phone, you can browse goods from around the world, compare prices, read reviews, and make purchases that arrive at your doorstep within days. This is the modern landscape shaped by online marketplaces, a world where borders blur and opportunities expand, not just for consumers, but also for sellers and the platforms that connect them. The benefits of these digital bazaars are as far-reaching as their inventories, but they come bundled with challenges that test the ingenuity and adaptability of everyone involved. For consumers, the appeal of online marketplaces is immediate and powerful. One of the most cited advantages is the sheer convenience of having a centralized shopping destination. Instead of hopping from site to site or store to store, buyers can explore countless brands, categories, and offers all in one place. This aggregation makes it remarkably easy to compare prices and features, whether searching for the best deal or the perfect fit. Transparency is key. Most marketplaces provide detailed seller ratings, customer reviews, and robust search tools. These features build trust and help shoppers feel confident in their choices, especially when dealing with unfamiliar brands or international sellers. The trust factor is significant. Marketplaces have invested heavily in systems that verify sellers, safeguard payments, and mediate disputes. As a result, users often perceive them as safer and more reliable than independent online stores. Another major benefit is global accessibility. Marketplaces are not bound by geography. A buyer in Canada can purchase handmade jewelry from a craftsperson in Thailand, or a business in Brazil can order industrial components from suppliers in Germany. This borderless commerce is possible because marketplaces handle much of the complexity behind the scenes, managing currency conversion, payment processing, and even aspects of cross-border logistics. For the consumer, the experience feels seamless. For sellers, it represents a profound shift, a chance to reach audiences that once would have been unimaginable. Sellers, especially small businesses and entrepreneurs, have found online marketplaces to be transformative. In industry surveys, a vast majority of small businesses, 92%, report that these platforms help them reach new customers, while 85% note a reduction in operational expenses. The cost effectiveness is striking. 90% say that marketplaces are a more affordable way to sell than building and maintaining their own e-commerce presence. The marketplace model provides instant access to a vast global customer base, leveling the playing field for businesses that might lack resources for extensive marketing or international expansion. Even the smallest seller can use marketing tools, analytics dashboards, and inventory management systems provided by the platform, streamlining operations that would otherwise require significant investment. These resources not only save money, but also free up time to focus on product development, customer service, and brand building. Credibility is another advantage for sellers. When a business lists its products on an established marketplace, it inherits a measure of the platform's reputation. Buyers are more likely to trust a new or unknown seller if they know the marketplace has verified their legitimacy and offers support if something goes wrong. This trust can lead to higher conversion rates and repeat business. For many entrepreneurs, the marketplace is more than just a sales channel. It is a launchpad for growth, experimentation, and even international trade. Marketplace operators benefit from the network effects inherent in their model. The more sellers they attract, the greater the variety and value for buyers, which in turn draws more shoppers and, subsequently, more merchants. This self-reinforcing cycle has helped many marketplaces achieve remarkable scale and resilience. Operators also gain access to vast amounts of data about consumer behavior, preferences, and trends, which they can use to refine their platforms, optimize search and recommendations, and innovate new features. The centralized nature of these platforms allows them to offer integrated payment processing, fulfillment solutions, and customer support services that add value and reinforce their position as indispensable intermediaries. Yet the very features that make online marketplaces so powerful also introduce complex challenges. Chief among these is the issue of trust. While platforms work to verify sellers and monitor transactions, the sheer scale of operations means that fraud, counterfeit goods, and deceptive practices remain persistent threats. Fake reviews, for example, have become a well-documented problem, eroding consumer confidence and making it harder for legitimate sellers to stand out. Marketplaces must constantly update their algorithms and enforcement policies to detect and remove fraudulent activity, but the cat-and-mouse game is never truly over. Competition is another double-edged sword. For sellers, marketplaces offer access to millions of potential customers, but also pit them against thousands, sometimes tens of thousands, of rivals offering similar products. This can lead to a relentless race to the bottom on price, with thin margins and intense pressure to optimize listings, advertising, and fulfillment. Small businesses in particular may struggle to keep up with larger competitors who can afford to buy more ads, offer deeper discounts, or invest in premium placement. Some marketplaces address this by providing tools and resources tailored to smaller sellers, but the challenge remains significant. Quality control presents further hurdles. Unlike traditional retail, where the store sets standards for every product on its shelves, marketplaces must manage quality across a sprawling, ever-changing roster of independent sellers. This diversity fuels marketplace vibrancy, but it also raises the risk of inconsistent product standards, higher return rates, and customer dissatisfaction. Research highlights the consequences of poor quality control, damaged reputations, lost sales, and increased operational costs. To combat this, many platforms have implemented robust quality assurance programs, detailed product guidelines, and automated monitoring systems. Even so, the complexity of monitoring millions of listings means that lapses are inevitable, and both sellers and operators must remain vigilant. Regulatory compliance is another area where online marketplaces face mounting scrutiny. In recent years, governments around the world have introduced new rules aimed at ensuring product safety, protecting consumers, and promoting fair competition. The Uniform Consumers Act in the United States, for instance, requires marketplaces to verify the identity of high-volume sellers and enforce strict compliance measures to combat organized retail crime. Similar trends are evident globally, with increased emphasis on seller verification, product safety standards, data privacy, and payment security. Marketplaces are also navigating evolving liability regimes in the European Union and the United Kingdom, where questions about platform responsibility for unsafe or illegal products are hotly debated. Operators must invest heavily in compliance systems, automated monitoring, and legal resources to keep pace with these shifting requirements. For sellers, regulatory changes can introduce new administrative burdens and costs. Navigating the patchwork of rules across different markets, especially for those engaged in cross-border trade, requires agility and, often, external expertise. Small businesses may find themselves disproportionately affected, lacking the in-house resources to track and respond to every new regulation. Beyond compliance, broader market dynamics present ongoing risks. The power wielded by major platform operators has sparked debate about antitrust and competition. Some regulators are considering or implementing bans on self-preferencing, where a marketplace might steer buyers toward its own branded products, or mandating data sharing and interoperability to level the playing field for third-party sellers. The future may bring new rules designed to foster innovation and prevent dominant platforms from stifling competition. But these efforts are still unfolding. The rise of social commerce and mobile-first marketplaces adds another layer of complexity. As shopping increasingly merges with social media, buyers and sellers must adapt to new formats, discovery channels, and customer expectations. The pressure to keep up with changing algorithms, advertising options, and consumer behaviors is felt by all participants, large and small. Despite these challenges, the trajectory of online marketplaces remains one of growth and adaptation. Statistics suggest that online spending and marketplace participation continue to rise, with consumers drawn by convenience, variety, and the promise of discovery. Sellers, too, are finding ways to harness the tools and opportunities offered by these platforms, even as they navigate fierce competition and regulatory complexity. Operators, for their part, are investing in technology, compliance, and innovation to stay ahead of risks and maintain the trust of their vast user bases. In the end, the story of online marketplaces is one of both empowerment and responsibility, a delicate balance between opening doors and enforcing standards, between fostering competition and ensuring fairness. As the landscape continues to evolve, the benefits and challenges will remain inextricably linked, shaping the experiences of buyers, sellers, and operators alike. The digital marketplace is not a static destination, but a dynamic ecosystem where opportunity and risk travel side by side, each driving the other forward. Online marketplaces have become a central hub for global commerce, transforming not only how goods and services are exchanged, but also how businesses, entrepreneurs, and consumers envision their roles within this vast digital ecosystem. Their influence now extends far beyond convenience or expanded selection. According to recent analyses, marketplaces account for a significant share of online purchases, fundamentally changing the structure of retail and the expectations of buyers and sellers alike. The ripple effects reach deep into entrepreneurial opportunity, consumer habits, and even the regulatory frameworks that strive to keep pace with this rapidly evolving landscape. One of the most profound impacts of online marketplaces is their catalytic effect on entrepreneurship. Digital platforms have lowered the barriers to entry for aspiring business owners, making it easier than ever to launch a venture with minimal upfront investment. Research points to a surge in entrepreneurial activity, especially in urban centers, as individuals leverage the visibility and operational tools provided by established marketplaces. This democratization of commerce has enabled people from diverse backgrounds to test new ideas, reach global audiences, and quickly adapt their offerings in response to feedback and shifting demand. However, studies also reveal that while the initial leap into online entrepreneurship is increasingly accessible, achieving persistence and long-term success remains challenging. The competitive intensity and rapid pace of innovation demand resilience, adaptability, and a constant willingness to learn. Psychologically, the appeal of entrepreneurship in the marketplace context is fueled by a blend of opportunity and autonomy. Sellers are attracted not only by the potential for financial gain, but also by the promise of controlling their own destinies, setting personal goals, and seeing immediate results from their efforts. Yet, as research indicates, the reality often involves navigating complex platform rules, shifting algorithms, and the ongoing need for self-promotion. In this way, marketplaces serve as both a launchpad and a crucible, rewarding creativity and determination, but also exposing participants to new forms of risk and uncertainty. For consumers, the impact of online marketplaces is equally transformative. The way people discover, evaluate, and purchase products is constantly evolving, driven by technological advances and the integration of commerce into daily digital life. Analysts have observed a decisive shift toward omnichannel shopping, where consumers seamlessly move between devices and platforms, blending online and offline experiences. The rise of social commerce, propelled by social media integration, is making product discovery and purchasing more immediate and embedded within everyday interactions. Marketplaces are investing heavily in features that personalize the shopping experience, using artificial intelligence to recommend products, predict preferences, and streamline search. These tools not only make shopping more efficient but also deepen consumer engagement, encouraging repeat visits and fostering brand loyalty. The emergence of mobile-first and app-based marketplaces is accelerating this shift. With more consumers now shopping via smartphones and tablets, marketplaces are prioritizing seamless mobile experiences, one-click checkouts, and integrated payment systems. The logistics infrastructure supporting online marketplaces is also evolving, with rapid delivery and flexible fulfillment options becoming standard expectations. As a result, the boundaries between digital and physical retail are blurring, giving rise to a more dynamic, responsive, and consumer-centric commerce environment. Generational differences are also shaping the future of online marketplaces. Research into Generation Z's purchasing habits suggests that this cohort, having grown up with digital technology, expects transparency, speed, and a high degree of personalization. Their comfort with social media, openness to new technologies, and value-driven decision-making are prompting marketplaces to rethink everything from product curation to sustainability initiatives. Platforms that can adapt to these preferences, by highlighting ethical sourcing, supporting resale and secondhand markets, or fostering community-driven content, are likely to earn the loyalty of younger consumers and set new standards for the industry as a whole. The broader economic impact of online marketplaces extends into both business-to-consumer and business-to-business sectors. Experts note that marketplaces are increasingly driving growth, not just for individual sellers, but for entire industries, including those that have traditionally relied on face-to-face relationships and manual procurement processes. Niche marketplaces and multi-vendor platforms are emerging to serve specialized needs, connecting buyers and sellers in areas ranging from industrial equipment to creative services. These developments are fostering greater efficiency, transparency, and competition, with ripple effects throughout supply chains and supporting industries. At the same time, the dominance of major marketplaces has drawn the attention of regulators and policymakers. Recent years have seen a wave of new regulations aimed at addressing concerns around competition, consumer protection, and the integrity of marketplace transactions. Issues such as payment security, data privacy, and platform liability are at the forefront of these discussions. Operators are responding by investing in more secure payment systems, enhancing fraud detection, and developing compliance frameworks that can adapt to changing legal requirements across different jurisdictions. The regulatory environment remains fluid, and ongoing debates around fairness, access, and platform responsibility are likely to shape the next phase of marketplace evolution. Looking ahead, the future of online marketplaces is being shaped by a convergence of technological, cultural, and economic trends. Artificial intelligence and machine learning are poised to further personalize the shopping experience, offering tailored recommendations and predictive search capabilities that anticipate consumer needs before they are even expressed. Augmented reality is beginning to play a role in product visualization, allowing shoppers to virtually try on clothing, preview furniture in their homes, or explore digital showrooms. These innovations are not just novelties, they are becoming essential tools for differentiation in a crowded and competitive marketplace landscape. Social commerce stands out as a particularly dynamic area of innovation. The integration of shopping features directly into social media platforms is creating new pathways for discovery and engagement, especially among younger consumers. Experts predict that this trend will accelerate, with marketplaces and social platforms forming deeper partnerships and blurring the lines between content, community, and commerce. Secondhand and circular marketplaces are also on the rise, reflecting growing consumer interest in sustainability, affordability, and unique finds. These platforms, often fueled by peer-to-peer interactions, are expanding the definition of value and encouraging more mindful consumption habits. The payment experience, long a critical component of marketplace success, is undergoing its own transformation. Secure, frictionless payment systems are now a baseline expectation, and operators are experimenting with new models such as embedded finance, instant settlements, and cross-border payment solutions. These advancements aim to reduce barriers for both buyers and sellers, supporting global expansion and fostering trust in transactions that span different currencies and regulatory environments. The pace of innovation is relentless, and the need for constant adaptation is a defining feature of the marketplace landscape. Strategic partnerships, whether with logistics providers, financial institutions, or technology firms, are becoming more important as operators seek to enhance their offerings and maintain a competitive edge. Analysts emphasize that success in the coming years will depend on the ability to anticipate shifts in consumer behavior, embrace emerging technologies, and navigate an increasingly complex regulatory environment. As this chapter closes on the current era of online marketplaces, it is clear that their impact reaches far beyond digital storefronts. They have given rise to new forms of entrepreneurship, reshaped consumer habits, and driven the evolution of global commerce. The future promises even greater integration of technology, deeper personalization, and a continued expansion of what marketplaces can be and do. While challenges persist, ranging from regulatory uncertainty to the demands of constant innovation, the trajectory is unmistakable. Online marketplaces will remain at the forefront of commerce, continually redefining how we buy, sell, and connect in an increasingly digital world.